Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another little vlog with Lean. Today is going to be an easy vlog of me creating a cushion cover from some of my artwork. As you can see, I started off a nice grey day with a little jam tart here and a cup of tea. This is just going to be a chilled video because my week has been hectic. I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes which I can't really film because it involves a friend of mine, and of course we know Lou is going through a hard time with cancer, so we've not really been doing much of the Lean and Loo stuff. So today I thought I would take a break and de-stress by turning this cute little character here that I designed into a cushion cover for my bedroom. I really want to start doing more of this, turning my art into something usable. So I've pulled out all the scrap fabric that I possess in my house, and I'm going to try and make this like an applique design using some of this coloured felt that I own too. Now it's pretty hard work trying to put together pieces of scrap fabric in a way that's going to make them cohesive, but the trick when making applique designs like this is to start on your very back layer. Here I'm starting on the landscape background of my design, which will be like the sky, the hills, the grasses, and then I'm seeing which ones work with the main colour here. This fawn colour is the main body of my hedgehog. So it took a little bit of time picking out colours that wouldn't clash and look horrible. Right now it looks a bit higgledy-piggledy, but trust me, it'll all come together in the end. It's definitely a process. So I'm going to take all of this fabric and we're going to start. Voila! How quick was that? By the power of the camera. As you can see, I cut up my pieces, I created my back landscape, and I sewed them all together on a base fabric which was just a cream fabric, and this is where I'm going to be sewing all my elements together to make this cushion cover. Now I added a lot of stitching on each of the fabrics that I layered on here just to add more interest, because the end piece is going to have a lot of embroidery. It also helps anchor all of that fabric. Okay, so to make my little hedgehog, I'm going to draw out my template here. That is the main body. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to actually draw it onto my fabric so that I can make the shape. Now when I'm doing an applique like this, when you've got a fabric that frays, you want to put something on the back of it. Here I've got more of the lining fabric that I used. You want to draw on your lining fabric and you want to sew them right sides facing together. Then you want to cut them out and cut the lining fabric right up the back in the middle where you won't see it, and turn it the right way out before you flatten it out and sew it to your piece. You'll see what I mean when I get to that point, but this is a good trick. There we go, there's what I was talking about. So I'd turned it inside out and now I'm going to sew it to my piece, which means I don't have to worry about my fabric fraying. I do it with most of the big pieces on this, unless it's a fabric I know that doesn't really fray, or it's in a place where it won't actually have much of the edges showing. So this was a process going through this. I used this textured wool here that has these little bobble things on it to make the spiny part of the hedgehog by folding it up into little short lengths and then putting half behind the body of the hedgehog, and then I'm going to sew down over the top of that once I've finally got them all in place. But this was kind of one of those projects where I'm making it up as I go along. I've not got like an overall plan of how I want the fabric or the embroidery to look. It's one of those things that's just growing by itself. My basic design was a very loose idea, and I even have the colours picked out. I'm just going with the fabrics. This is a template for his little mushroom hat, and these are some flower petals. I want to add some flowers to this cushion. Now that I've got to this stage where the hedgehog is sort of there and ready to be sewn on, I now want to take my attention back to the background scenery and add more layers and interest that I can sew on first before my hedgehog goes on. I just want to add the details. And if you notice the state of my hands, I had a nasty fall a week or two back, and then my hand is still healing, and in between doing this cushion I'll be gardening too, so sometimes I'll come back with really mucky nails. It's just planting season here in Scotland and I've been busy. So I decided to add the different coloured flowers with glittery stems, some leaves, just to add some more colour and interest, and I'll be adding more as I go along. I'm not going to be able to finish this cushion today because there's a lot of work to go into it, but I'm going to get as far along as I can to show you the progress of this. And for me, sewing and art is a way to de-stress and take my mind off the very obvious, really stressful things going on with Lean and Loo right now. Lou's having a really hard time after being diagnosed with breast cancer, and there's not really much for us to talk about. Lou's making a great job of documenting her journey as she goes, and I don't want it to distract from the seriousness of what she's going through. So for me, I think I'll be posting just little craft videos like these and let Lou really have her time to process what she's going through and try not to take away too much from the seriousness of it. So as you can see, I've got to this stage where my hedgehog is down, some of my elements in the background are down, and now it's time to do the hand sewing. All the big stuff is here. I've machine sewed everything I can, and now I'm going to take embroidery threads, buttons, beads, scrap fabrics, and I'm going to embellish this. Starting by embroidering his little face and using some French knots to give him little whisker dots, and just add as I go. This is why this is not going to be finished in this video, because there is so many little leaves and things I want to embroider onto this, and then I have to construct the entire cushion too. In the next video I'll show you how to make a really simple cushion cover just using 3 bits of fabric. Doesn't need zips or anything like that, and is the most basic way of making a cushion cover. But for the rest of this video, I'm just going to work on this and get as far along as I can, so that the next time you come back to my next vlog, hopefully this panel will be ready to turn into a cushion. Tell me what you think of my little hedgehog. Should I turn it into an actual art piece, make a painting, or do some digital art of him? I think he's kind of cute. I think he would make a cute little print or maybe a card. So as you can see, I'm progressing slowly. Some buttons, some embroidery. I've started embroidering these little leaves on here, and that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the night. I'm sorry this was such a lame vlog. Like I said, so much has been going on with Lean and Loo, but I just wanted to check in and show you what I've been going on and getting up to, and I will catch you in the next video.